So hello, welcome back to Blake's Den. It's a miserable, cold, snowy December day here. I've got my Mini tucked up in hibernation in the garage, and I thought I'll do something I've been wanting to do for some time, and which is fit an air horn to it. My Mini is a Mini Cooper MPI, multi-point injection, and the engine bay is very busy. The horn lives down there. I think there's just enough room to fit the air horns in. The horn is connected up using this plug connector. I'll just undo it there. Two wires, purple being the feed and black being the earth. The horn on the MPI is fed through a relay. So that relay is protected by a 20 amp fuse, and the horn is rated at 4 amps. The air horn I'm putting in is only at 3 amps, so I think we'll be okay just to use that existing wiring. However, if you had an older Mini, you'd want to do it differently. If you had an older Mini, like this 1989 Austin Mini Designer, the horn is on the front here and it's not powered by a relay. When you fit the air horn, it draws a lot more current. You'd run the risk of melting your wiring. So what you would do is you would pull off that wire and just use it as a trigger wire, and you'd set up a relay like this. That's how you would wire it on an old Mini. So you'd use that horn wire I pulled off as a trigger. That would energize the coil in the relay, goes to earth, and then you'd pull in a high current 12 volt supply tapped off, say, the back of the starter motor or back of the alternator. That'd go through. When that energizes, that pulls that switch shut, completes the circuit. Power goes to the horn, horn goes to earth, loud noises happen. But since mine's the MPI, I'm just going to crack on doing it the MPI specific way. This is the horn I want to use. It's like a snail air horn, quite a compact one. 3 amp feed into it, protected by an inline fuse. It's previously been used, it was given to me. You then got a couple of brackets, one homemade, and then the earth goes to the bracket there. So that's what I'm planning on fitting in. To make my life easier, I've also acquired the cheapest Rover horn I could find off eBay. This is off a Rover 45 5.1 reg. And then I've cut off this wiring connector here, which sits on there. So I've cut that off. That is compatible with the existing wiring on the MPI. So my plan is to plug that in, and then the terminal I've highlighted red is that purple one, which is the live feed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut that down and shape that so I can make a connection onto this. So I might use a different wiring connector or something. Make that connection and the horn should work. So yeah, that's my plan. Before I get too carried away, I just want to make sure that the horn will actually fit the air horn. So I'm going to remove the existing horn. There's a 13mm nut on the back of it. You can just see down there. That's held in with a serrated washer. And that keeps the bracket in place, and hopefully I can reuse that bracket. So I'll pop that off and see what we've got to play with. That's the horn removed with the nut. Came off using a ratchet spanner, which was the perfect tool for the job. And then if we take the new horn, I think this will just squeeze in, he says. Very hard to film and hold it in place at the same time, but I think that'll just squeeze in there, utilising the existing bracket, and yeah, that should work. Right, now I'm going to mess around with that wiring connector and hopefully turn that into something which will just be plug and play. So what I've got here is I've got the horn connector and the original sort of terminal connector, which was on the horn. I've just drilled that out ever so slightly, then just hammered it over the existing terminal there. So it's connected, but it's got movement, and I'm going to solder around it to secure it. I've also got some heat shrink here, which I'll slide up afterwards to cover that whole lot. But yeah, I think that is going to work. And so I just plug that in. The other end, the other end's just an earth, so It doesn't matter if it's exposed, but I'll put heat shrink over it again. And yeah, we should be good. So yeah, let's have a go soldering that. That's my wiring connector made up. Looks a bit rubbish because I put extra insulating tape on it, but it's functional, it'll be fine. And then for the horn, what I've done is the wire which goes to earth, I just crimped on a new terminal, and that'll earth through the body of the car. I could have connected it up to the other side of that plug, but I thought it was easier just to do that. So now I'm going to put that in, so the bolt is held captive in that casting at the end, and I'm going to put that bolt through the existing horn bracket and put a new nylock nut on the end, and hopefully will then be fitted. It'll just be a case of connecting up the wiring. There we are, all bolted in and wired up now. Probably should have used a shorter bolt there, but hey ho. A bit worried about how much it vibrates. Might get a bit close to the water pump, but we'll see how it goes. I can always put another bracket on, sort of just to triangulate it and strengthen it, but does it work? Let's go around to the horn and... Yep, that works. I wonder how much louder than the normal horn that is. Let's do a test. So that was between 5 and 6 decibels louder, which you think, well, that's not much. But a 3 decibel increase is a 100% increase in the sound energy, and a 26%, something like that, in volume. So it's 50% louder, essentially, if you double that, than it was before. So plus it sounds a lot better too. So yeah. Hopefully people will get out of my way now. Another thing to mention too is I've just angled the horn slightly downwards, so it's facing forwards but downwards, just to stop any water from ingressing into it. You don't want to fill up with water in the rain. Not that I use the car in the rain, but the sentiment's the same. So that's done. Something I've always wanted to have is a Mini with air horns on it. I've had my Mini nearly 14 years now, so yeah, I haven't exactly rushed into doing it, but I'm in it for the long run. So, hope you liked the video. If you do, press the like button and please press subscribe to get notified of even more videos like this coming up on my channel. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.